The actress, who has played Denise Fox for almost 2 decades, sat down with AML survivor Mfango Simwaka in a moving behind-the-scenes video shared by EastEnders. The special feature explored the realities of living with blood cancer and the importance of representing the condition accurately on screen. The conversation comes as Denise faces one of the biggest challenges of her life in the BBC soap after being diagnosed with AML, a form of blood cancer. In recent episodes, viewers have watched Denise come to terms with her diagnosis and prepare to begin treatment, with her family rallying around her during the difficult time. As part of the show's research process, Diane spoke to people who have lived through the illness themselves, including Mfango, whose story left a lasting impact on the actress. Sharing her thoughts on social media alongside clips from their meeting, Diane revealed just how much Mfango's strength and outlook had affected her. "When I met the incredible Mfango Rose, it was in a crowded Zoom meeting, and I was immediately struck by this young woman's resilience, clarity, and beautiful radiant smile." Diane explained that after their first meeting, she had the opportunity to spend more time with Mfango while filming the behind-the-scenes feature that delved deeper into her experience of AML. "I then had the honor of spending more time with her for our short BTS exploring her journey with AML, acute myeloid leukemia, a bit more than we initially did in our research chat." The actress went on to describe how hearing Mfango's story changed her perspective on life. "This young woman, aside from her infectious laughter and gorgeous personality, has shaken me up, put into perspective so many things about life, values and faith, and having the generosity and fortitude to assist us in our storytelling." One particularly moving moment in the video saw Mfango being invited behind the bar of the Queen Vic to ring the pub's iconic bell. For many cancer patients, ringing a bell marks the end of treatment, but Diane explained that AML survivors often have a different experience. Hearing from her that with this illness you don't ring the bell, as such, however, you are told, you live with these words: "No evidence of disease." It takes a special person to fight through those words and live your best life regardless. The moment clearly meant a great deal to both women. "It gave me and her such joy for her to get to not only ring just any bell but the iconic Queen Vic bell. The huge grin on her face was everything." Diane concluded her heartfelt message by thanking Mfango for sharing her experiences and helping shape Denise's storyline. "I hope her story has inspired and enlightened you too. Thank you, Mfango. You will always have a special place in my heart. Keep growing and glowing." The video was also shared by EastEnders with a message highlighting the purpose behind the discussion. Take a watch as we invited Mfango Simwaka, an acute myeloid leukemia survivor, to Walford for a sit-down chat with Diane Parish to discuss the ripple effects of an AML diagnosis, her continued work to raise awareness of this form of blood cancer, and the importance of this storyline. Fans were quick to praise both Diane and the program for handling the subject matter with sensitivity. One viewer commented, "Official Diane Parish handles these kind of sensitive issues in interviews so well. Her empathy and articulation really shine through. More documentaries from her, please." Another wrote, "Diane has been absolutely phenomenal in this storyline." The post also attracted praise from Blood Cancer UK, which has been supporting EastEnders throughout Denise's storyline. The charity highlighted the importance of including real-life experiences in television storylines, and thanked both Diane and Mfango for helping raise awareness of AML. In their response, Blood Cancer UK said, "This is exactly why lived experience matters. Thank you to @Mfango.Rose for sharing your experiences with AML so openly, and to @Official Diane Parish for listening, learning, and approaching Denise's storyline with blood cancer with such care." The charity also noted that being Black and living with an aggressive blood cancer such as AML can present additional challenges, adding that they hope the storyline helps make what can often feel like a hidden cancer more visible and better understood. As Denise's story continues to unfold on screen, the behind-the-scenes video has offered viewers a powerful reminder of the real people and real experiences that inspire some of soap's most important storylines. And judging by the emotional reaction from fans, Diane's moving conversation with Mfango has already achieved exactly what it set out to do, helping people better understand AML, while celebrating the strength of those who live with it every day. There was hardly a dry eye in the room as EastEnders star Diane Parish paid an emotional tribute to an incredible cancer survivor during a moving ceremony that touched the hearts of everyone present. Best known for playing the strong-willed Denise Fox in EastEnders, Diane stepped away from the drama of Albert Square for a moment to celebrate a real-life hero whose courage had inspired countless people throughout a difficult cancer journey. The special occasion centered around the ringing of the famous Vic bell, a symbolic moment that marked the end of a long and challenging chapter. Surrounded by family, friends, healthcare workers, and supporters, the survivor stood proudly as they prepared to ring the bell after completing treatment. As cameras flashed and applause filled the room, Diane struggled to hold back tears. The actress, known for delivering emotional performances on screen, found herself overwhelmed by the bravery and determination she had witnessed. Strength looks like, Diane said, her voice trembling with emotion. You have faced challenges that many of us can barely imagine. Yet you have done so with grace, courage, and hope. You are absolutely incredible. Her heartfelt words immediately resonated with those gathered. Many audience members were visibly emotional as Diane continued her tribute, describing the survivor as an inspiration not only to fellow patients, but to everyone fortunate enough to hear their story. The survivor's journey had been anything but easy. Months of treatment, uncertainty, and difficult days had tested both physical and emotional limits. Yet through every setback they refused to give up. According to those close to the survivor, optimism became a powerful weapon in the battle against illness. Friends recalled how they continued encouraging others, even while facing their own struggles. That's what makes this moment so special, Diane explained. It isn't just about finishing treatment. It's about resilience. It's about choosing hope every single day, even when things feel impossible. The room erupted into applause as the survivor approached the bell. For many cancer patients, ringing the bell represents more than the completion of treatment. It symbolizes survival, perseverance, and the beginning of a new chapter. It is a moment filled with relief, gratitude, and reflection. As the survivor grasped the rope, emotions ran high. Family members wiped away tears. Medical staff smiled proudly. Diane stood nearby, visibly moved by the significance of the occasion. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. The bell rang once, then twice, then again. Each chime echoed through the room, drawing cheers and applause from supporters who had followed the survivor's journey from the very beginning. Diane could no longer hide her emotions. Tears streamed down her face as she joined the standing ovation. It's impossible not to be moved, she admitted afterward. Moments like this remind us what really matters. They remind us how precious life is and how extraordinary ordinary people can be. The touching ceremony quickly attracted attention online, where fans praised both the survivor's bravery and Diane's heartfelt support. Many EastEnders viewers commented on social media, saying they were deeply touched by the actress's genuine compassion. One fan wrote, "Diane Parish is amazing. You can see how much this means to her." Another added, "What a beautiful moment. Congratulations to the survivor, and thank you to Diane for helping shine a light on these stories." For Diane, however, the spotlight remained firmly on the survivor. She repeatedly emphasized that the day belonged to someone who had demonstrated remarkable courage in the face of adversity. "Today isn't about television or fame," she said. "It's about celebrating a fighter. Someone who refused to let cancer define them. Someone who kept believing, even on the hardest days." As the event came to an end, the atmosphere shifted from emotional reflection to joyful celebration. Smiles replaced tears as photographs were taken and hugs were shared among loved ones. The survivor thanked everyone who had supported them throughout their journey, paying particular tribute to healthcare workers whose dedication had helped make the day possible. Meanwhile, Diane remained nearby, continuing to offer words of encouragement and admiration. The actress later described the experience as one she would never forget. "Meeting people like this changes your perspective," she said. "Their courage reminds all of us that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope." As the final applause echoed around the room, one thing was clear. The bell had rung not just for the end of treatment, but for the beginning of a hopeful new chapter. And thanks to Diane Parish's emotional tribute, the unforgettable moment became an inspiring reminder of the strength of the human spirit, proving that real-life heroes can be every bit as remarkable as the characters we see on television. For everyone lucky enough to witness it, the sound of that bell will be remembered for a very long time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.